Coming up on EagleVision News, California is bone dry. How is the drought affecting BiolaEV's campus?
And we'll tell you about regulations that are hitting the vaping world, all this and more on EagleVision News.
Hello and welcome to EagleVision News. I'm Keri Casey.
And I'm Clarke Finney. Our top story tonight, a UCLA student was found dead inside her apartment Monday. Just before 7:30 a.m., Los Angeles firefighters put out a blaze that engulfed a multi-unit apartment just 1 block from UCLA's campus. The student was discovered inside of her apartment and was declared dead at the scene. Arson investigators are still working to identify the source of the blaze, and the student's death is being investigated as a possible homicide. The student has not yet been identified, but the campus is mourning the death, which came just before classes were set to begin.
This week, Pope Francis is visiting the U.S. for the first time. He arrived in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday and departs from Philadelphia on Sunday. The Pope's 6-day visit has everything from a parade around D.C. to a mass at New York's Madison Square Garden. Francis also addressed Congress on Thursday, a first of any pope in history. U.S. officials are ramping up security to make sure the visit goes off without a hitch, but they are concerned about ISIS threats. His visit marks the 10th time a pope has ever visited the U.S. Just as 2 GOP candidates have dropped out of the presidential race, hopefuls Fiorina and Marco Rubio are enjoying gains in the polls after the last debate. By the numbers, Fiorina and Rubio are gaining more positive attention than any other candidates, but polls still show Trump on top. His lead is sliding a little after a less than impressive debate performance. Former Texas Governor Rick Perry and now Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker were the first to drop out of the crowded race for the White House. Both candidates want to clear the way for the conservative frontrunner who will take down Trump.
Los Angeles elected officials have declared a state of emergency on the growing citywide homeless problem. $100 million is set to go toward housing and other necessities for the homeless. Mayor Eric Garcetti told reporters that the city and council members are tackling a, quote, heartbreaking crisis that has gripped LA for decades. The proposal that was presented at City Hall coincides with a Garcetti administration proposal issued last Monday. If approved, the pair of initiatives could significantly increase the amount of resources available to the nearly 26,000 homeless living on the streets.
The Muslim student arrested for making a clock and bringing it to his classroom has withdrawn from the Dallas high school he attended. 14-year-old Ahmed Mohammed was not charged, but he was suspended for 3 days last week from MacArthur High School. Teachers were concerned he was trying to make a bomb when he brought his clock creation to class, so the authorities were called and Ahmed was detained. The situation made national news and caught the attention of President Obama and Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, who extended their support to him. Now multiple schools are offering to enroll Ahmed, but his father says he needs a break before going back to classes.
And the 67th annual Primetime Emmy Awards broke records this year. Game of Thrones walked away with Outstanding Drama Series, while Veep nabbed the Comedy Series win, breaking Modern Family's winning streak. Viola Davis became the first African-American to win Outstanding Actress in Drama Series How to Get Away with Murder, and Jon Hamm of Mad Men walked away with Outstanding Lead Actor after his 8th career nomination. Another major highlight of the evening was when former 30 Rock star Tracy Morgan returned to the stage, making his first public appearance since his severe highway accident last year. And it looks like there's a lot going on in the entertainment world. Reporter Jasmine Rose is here to give us an update. Jasmine?
Actor Matt Damon is receiving backlash after the season premiere of his HBO TV series Project Greenlight. During the show, film producer Effie Brown and Damon argued over choosing a director for a selected screenplay. Brown expressed her support for choosing a racially diverse director out of the finalists, believing he or she would be able to handle the sensitive roles.
When we're talking about diversity, you do it in the casting of the film, not in the casting of the show.
Whew. Wow, okay.
Through social media, Matt Damon was criticized for downplaying the importance of diversity in front and behind the scenes. The actor has since issued a statement apologizing for his offenses. Daytime talk show The View is in the middle of its own controversy after making offensive jokes regarding the Miss America telecast on Sunday. During the talent portion of the pageant, Miss Colorado Kelly Johnson performed a monologue about her work as a nurse. Hosts of The View, Michelle Collins and Joy Behar, joked about nursing not being appropriate as a talent and questioned Johnson's stethoscope. Comments like these on national television offended not only nurses throughout the country, but also advertisers for the show. Companies like Johnson & Johnson, Eggland's Best, Snuggle, and McCormick Spice have pulled their ads from the show and expressed their support for nurses through social media. Fox's TV show New Girl will renew it for its 5th season in January and will be introducing a massive change to the show. Lead actress Zooey Deschanel is currently on maternity leave after giving birth to her daughter in July. She did, however, pre-record the first 5 episodes of the season, but will not return after. Actress Megan Fox was announced to fill the void and take on the role of Reagan, a pharmaceutical sales rep who rents out Jess's room. Executive producer Liz Merriweather praises Megan Fox's comedic skills and ability to pick up on the chemistry on set with returning cast members. Deschanel is expected to reprise her role as Jess, but no date has been confirmed.
Thank you very much for that update, Jasmine. Great having you on. Yeah. Californians have majorly had to cut down on water usage. Reporter Angeline Wong tells us how Biola is coping with the drought.
Biola is striving towards an overall 25% reduction in water use. However, the significant reduction comes at a price. In order to comply to Suburban Water's Stage 2 Water Shortage Contingency Plan implemented on August 1st of this year, Biola must choose to only water select areas on campus. Metzger Lawn, for example, is one of Biola's biggest and most central areas of turf. In order to maintain the lawn, Biola must only water the grass during the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. for 3 days out of the week. Biola's decision to maintain central areas of grass also affects admissions to the school.
So I do think it's great as a recruitment tool. Says a lot about who we are as an organization, so I think it's important.
Biola has also made the decision to stop watering non-essential areas of grass, like the creek area and the parkways around Biola Avenue. Some areas of turf have been replaced by drought-tolerant ground coverings, like mulch.
Biola's decision to only water select areas of turf has affected fields like this one in between Sigma and Blackstone, leaving dry patches of grass.
Additionally, Biola is making efforts to save water in areas that contain large quantities like the pool.
We replaced our pool filter at our swimming pool with a high-efficiency filter that is projected to save about 650,000 gallons of water every year.
Students and professors are also being mindful of water usage in the classroom.
I'm in ceramics class, so we use a lot of water to clean off a lot of our things, but we try to always put it in a bucket and use the same water even though it gets really dirty.
For EagleVision News, this is Angeline Wong.
Reporter Tori Andres is here to give us some sports updates. Tori, what's going on with the Olympics?
Well, Los Angeles is one of 5 finalists competing to host the 2024 Olympic Games. The International Olympic Committee announced the final candidates on Wednesday. The other 4 cities include Budapest, Hamburg, Paris, and Rome. In an effort to stand out, Los Angeles has dubbed itself the northern capital of Latin America, as well as the western capital of the U.S. and the eastern capital of the Pacific Rim. The California city is bidding in hopes to bring the Summer Games back to the U.S. for the first time since the 1996 Games held in Atlanta. New England Patriots' Tom Brady broke the all-time record for most passing yards during a game this past weekend. Brady and the Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills 40-32 in New York this Sunday. The Patriots' star quarterback set the new record for most passing yards with 466 yards and 3 touchdowns, breaking the previous record of 464 set by George Blanda in 1961. The Patriots play again this upcoming Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tori. And electronic cigarettes and vaping is the go-to alternative for regular smoking, but could recent studies and new government regulations negatively affect the industry? Reporter Katie Post has the story.
Vaping has been considered a healthy alternative to regular smoking, but recent studies have claimed otherwise. According to the American Society of Clinical Oncology, the tobacco solution used in e-cigarettes contains a toxic chemical found in antifreeze and several other cancer-causing chemicals. Because of these recent controversial studies, state legislatures are pushing to regulate the vaping industry. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration are drafting regulations that require testing of the individual vape strengths and flavors. Putting tax, similar to cigarettes and tobacco, on vaping has also been debated. These government stipulations pose problems for the vaping industry, particularly small businesses. Vape Rack, a vape shop in Whittier, California, is one of the many small businesses concerned with this possible new law.
Depending on what bills they're trying to pass, it puts a huge dent on the vape industry. The industry itself is a bunch of small businesses, so the more they're trying to regulate things, the more it's putting against the small business owners who are trying to support the industry.
Although some studies have shown that vaping can be unhealthy or could be led to a gateway drug, here at Vape Rack, they claim otherwise. Whether or not the new proposed vaping regulations get passed, the vaping industry is projected to grow to $3.5 billion by the end of 2015. This is Katie Post with EagleVision News.
YouTube user Matt Little uploaded this video on Monday, and it kind of speaks to my life a little bit. It's already racked up more than 3 million views. Check it out.
Live your best life.
How many times a week can you relate to this rat carrying an entire piece of pizza down a subway stairs? I mean, that's insane.
Definitely every day of my life. The struggle's real when I'm trying to feed myself. I will literally grab the nearest thing, and he was a determined little critter.
Really impressive.
He looked like he was bringing that pizza to his family of like 4.
Yeah, absolutely a determined rat. And I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to the sequel where he's carrying the entire pizza down the stairs. I feel like that'll grab a lot of views too.
It looks like he definitely built a little bit of muscle on that fur of his.
Yeah. Well, it's officially fall, although you may not have noticed because it's been so hot. But we got a forecast for you, Kara.
It is this beautiful Malibu sunset right behind me. I mean, look at the beautiful blue waters, perfect sunset. It doesn't get much better than that. At least, I think so. On to the current temperatures. So this morning started out very nice. Started in the mid-60s, 64 this morning, and then on to 82. The day gets warmer, and then back down to 66. Sunset this morning was at 6:41 a.m., excuse me, and sunset was at 6:50 p.m. Now on to the national forecast. So, excuse me. So down here in the Florida area, we have a hot patch, high 70s, low 80s. And then over here in the Houston, Texas area, it's also a hot patch, as well as in the California area. And same with Nevada, high 90s, low 80s, and hopefully that will change sometime soon. On to the 7-day forecast. So as the week starts out, it is somewhat reasonable, not too hot. I think we can all manage it. And as the week continues, it just gets hotter and hotter, and then thankfully goes back down. So I think we can all agree that it is manageable. We can all live in this heat. So thank you. Back to you, Keri and Clarke.
That's all we have for you this evening. Coming up next week, we'll show you one of the hottest hair trends that's taken over campus. Can you say man bun? And tune in for a BiolaEV Volleyball Spotlight.
Keep up with us during the week. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at BiolaEV. We'll see you next time.